free tickets just for coming in.
Imports, craft beers, domestics, it's all here for you. You gotta come to Rosedale and see the king.
8226 Pulaski Highway in Rosedale. Find us on Facebook or go to kingliquors.com.
He doesn't even have Facebook.
We rocked Adams Jeep of Maryland with Dennis Pitta as the Ravens march to the Super Bowl. And we'll be back in Aberdeen with purple events over the next several months. In the meantime, visit our friends at Adams Jeep for all of your Jeep needs. Whether you're looking to purchase a new Jeep or get yours tricked out, Adams Jeep is the place to be. Trust me, they're great people and they're here to help. 3485 Churchville Road in Aberdeen. Find them on Facebook at Adams Jeep of Maryland and visit adamsjeep.com.
A 200% to Glenn Clark on the check. I just want
Backstep corn cakes are absolutely as good as I tell you they are.
It's a rough place over there.
And were you a backstep guy before you went up on the WA's team? How about that? Sure, because they got paper plates.
They have paper plates. Visit Boxo Pizzeria at 2915 Edmonton Road in Abingdon or visit boxopizzeria.com.
You're to the MobTown Sports Beat with Thurl Nelson. This is the MobTown Sports Beat. Here's Thurl Nelson.
Welcome back. MobTown Sports Beat 410-481-1570. The number, WNST.net, the website. This hour of the program brought to you by our friends at ABC Rental Store. If you got a big job coming up, spring's coming, you got some cleanup to do, head over to see our friends at ABC Rental. They got a big party coming up. You're looking for tents, chairs, tables, party supplies, ladders, generators, heaters. ABC Rental in Rosedale's got you covered. If you're a contractor, ABC Rental in Rosedale has construction equipment for you as well. Lifts, light towers, excavators, saws, drills, and more. Check them out online from the convenience of your own home at abcrentalstore.com. Mention WNST and get yourself a 10% discount. ABC Rental is conveniently located just off 695, right there off exit 35A, and they even deliver. So again, that website, abcrentalstore.com, or if you're old-fashioned like me, just give them a call, 410-780-0900 for more information. 410-481-1570 is the number here as we have been, enthralled into this point in the MobTown Sports Beat. Lots of talk about the impending free agency of a number of guys. Lots of talk about big decisions to be made by these Ravens in the offseason, and lots of talk about, sort of the uncomfortable position that these Ravens find themselves in right now, which is having to hurry up and wait and figure out exactly how it is that they intend to proceed with Joe Flacco and his negotiations, how that impacts their salary cap moving forward before they're even ready to move forward with the rest of their plan, before they're even ready to fully embrace whatever their plans might be in terms of filling a number of holes. And the Ravens have big decisions to be made. And so some of them I think we already see as foregone conclusions. For example, Donnell Ellerbe, most look at as a guy that is, the Ravens have to have back somehow, some way, and it doesn't appear that the cost is going to be too preclusive to make that happen. You look a little bit further into this free agent class, and guys like Ed Reed, Paul Kruger, Kerry Williams likely gone and creating some holes that will need to be filled as well. So, sooner or later, we as fans are going to take our eyes off Joe Flacco, off of the NFL draft, and acknowledge that, this team has done a pretty good job, a very good job, in fact, of filling some roles through free agency over the last year or so. And when it comes time to evaluate free agents, especially if the Ravens are in the market for a safety, then they might have some interest in talking with our next guest. It's our pleasure to welcome in free agent safety Mike Mitchell. Mike, first of all, appreciate you making time for us today, and welcome in.
Thank you guys very much. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. And, as we say, free agent safety upcoming. The world is yours right now. But, priority-wise, obviously everybody wants to get paid because tomorrow never promised to you in this game. But how important would it be as well to find yourself with a team that would make you feel comfortable from an organizational standpoint, from a class act standpoint, and then beyond that maybe gives you a chance to win as well, which has to be considered pretty important, right?
I think everything you just said, those are three of the most important things for me. When it comes down to my decision-making process, obviously I'm a praying man, so I don't do anything without consulting God first. But definitely you want to go to a team that wants you. Definitely you want to play for a team that has a good scheme fit for you. And then I think the most important thing if you're an NFL football player is playing for a team that's going to be a contender and be a winner. I don't think anyone's playing the game to go out there and doing what we do to our bodies to lose. So I think being able to win a Super Bowl is definitely always the goal.
I don't know if you noticed, Mike, but as you consider yourself a praying man, the Ravens with a pretty spiritual locker room themselves, it would seem. Seems like a pretty easy place that you might be able to get comfortable, huh?
Yeah, and then the fact that they got a nice little Super Bowl ring to tote around for the next couple months. So being able to defend that, that would be a great challenge, a great thing to do. But we're early in this free agency. I think Oakland still has my rights. We're still in the negotiating process with them. I'm open to any team that's willing to talk. We're always looking. We look at everything. This is a business. Me and my agent will sit down and we'll evaluate all the offers and make the best decision for me.
Mike, correct me if I'm wrong on this, man, but when we go back to the NFL draft and your draft day, I think a lot of folks were surprised. As you talk about Oakland, and clearly you have to have some level of loyalty to your own team, and especially maybe, for a guy like you who, when the Raiders drafted you, a lot of folks felt like it was out of slot. There was some criticism that was levied against the Raiders, and so far, you've done a good job of answering all of those critics. But were you watching or listening to the draft broadcast on draft day when you heard, some of that negative reaction, I guess, that was sort of thrown at the Raiders?
No, I saw and heard it all. I was watching the draft. It was crazy how that draft experience kind of went down. Going into the draft, we had went on so many visits. My agent was really kind of, we were thinking maybe fourth round, somewhere around there. But, obviously, we got the call. We were actually going to go to Chicago 2 picks after Oakland. Oakland just happened to take the pick before Chicago did. So I don't know if, we would have, if that's the same type of uproar would have came up, if I'd ended up going to Chicago or whatnot. But, I ended up going to Oakland. I played there for 4 years. I've been a special team. I've been on the Pro Bowl ballot for special teams the last 3 years consecutively. I mean, I'm not done working, but I'm definitely not anywhere where I want to be. I can validate my pick playing on any team. Obviously I do have a lot of loyalty for the Davis family. What he's done for my family and myself, I will never forget. And I think that's why, if you look at the way I played for Oakland the last couple of years, that is why I play so hard. I carry that. I honor him, and I play with a lot of passion. I'm appreciative. But at the same time, man, this is a business. And, I hate saying that because it kind of makes it sound like say something bad afterwards. But it is. It is a business. You have to kind of do what's best for you and your family. I want to go to a team that sees me as a starter, sees me as a guy that's going to be every down, that'll be just as loyal to me as I will to them. And if you look at the tape, I'm a guy, if you look at the tape, I'm going to fly around. I'm going to hit people hard. I'm going to make tackles. I'm going to do my job. I just need a team that is really willing to take that and give me that opportunity to do that.
Well, and sort of interesting also that, as you mentioned, the Bears were poised to take you as well. When did you get the indication on draft day, or was it until you heard your name called that all of a sudden your stock had risen from fourth-round grades or thereabouts to a couple of teams, 2 of the next 3 that were on the clock essentially being interested in you in the second round?
Right. No, my agent actually had called me earlier in the draft, and he was like, man, I got a feeling, our phone's picking up. Stay close to your phone. That was earlier in the second round, and then right around pick 45, he was like, Mike, I got a good feeling you're going to Chicago. Get ready. And then at pick 47 came across, my phone was ringing, and Oakland was calling me, telling me they were drafting me. But as Oakland was doing that, I was already in my mind prepared to be going to Chicago. I separated. I walked upstairs. I was kind of going to let my parents kind of see it for themselves, kind of see how they reacted to it. But then, I ended up getting this because I was expecting to go to Chicago, and Oakland drafted me. that was kind of how my draft day experience went. I talked to Coach Cable. He asked me if I was ready to be an Oakland Raider. I don't think too many in that situation would say no.
Right.
I'm excited about the opportunity and ready to go to work.
Indeed. Talking with Mike Mitchell, safety, technically, I guess we'll say impending free agent possibly, but as you pointed out, still technically in with the Raiders and negotiating with them potentially as well. Mike, when you talk about, your work on special teams and some of the recognition that you've gotten from that, do you consider yourself, a special teamer at heart, and how much of, an additional drive is there for you to get on the field more regularly or, completely regularly as a defensive back? I guess the point being, or the question being, could you envision a day where you become so important on defense, the teams don't want to put you on special teams anymore?
No, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. I don't see myself as anything but a starting safety in this league. I feel like I am where I am today because it's where I thought it would be. If you set low goals for yourself, then you'll get low achievements. But I see myself as being a great safety in this league. I'm not one that's going to toot my own horn or blow smoke with anyone's butt. I'm an extremely hard worker. I come from very humble means, come from very humble background. I came from a small town in Kentucky. There's not a lot of football players coming out of Kentucky, so that should tell you the type of work that I had to put in to get to this level. I want to be a great safety. That was, really, if you look at all the games that Oakland gave me an opportunity to go in there, I was one of the most productive guys on the football field. So to me, it's just when you give me the opportunity, look and see what I do. That's what other teams, it already has happened because free agency has started up. When other teams, they're looking at my tape, they're like, man, you are out there making plays, So that's all I really need is just a team that says, hey, we're going to give you the opportunity to go out here and make plays. I'm not saying the team has to give me a starting job. I believe I can outwork anyone. But I feel like the experience and just the opportunity to go make plays is what I need. Don't hold me back. If I have to play special teams, I will play special teams. Obviously, I played that at a very high level the last 3 seasons, but I definitely see myself as a starting safety, and I'm not going to stop until I accomplish that.
Mike, when you start to talk to other teams, do you find yourself in a position where you might be, sort of polling some players that around the league and trying to figure out, where might be a comfortable fit organizationally to find out a little bit about, where it is that you might be heading?
My agent does a fantastic, Brian Hamlin, he does a great job of finding the teams that fit us. But, it's pretty easy. When they contact you, it's fairly easy to know who's interested in you and who's not. Now it's just a matter of comparing schemes, who's on the depth chart, those type of things that we have to look at. And obviously, I'm going to pray about it and then let God lead me in the right direction. But that part of it is I think, is fairly easy.
Mike, we talk a lot about free safety, strong safety, and the more football we watch, the more it seems that if you're going to be a safety in this league, you kind of have to have both skill sets. What is it for you that really gets you going, man? Is it a chance to get out and defend passes and maybe get interceptions, or you like to come and just deliver the wood, man? If you had a poster on your wall, would it be Ed Reed or would it be Ronnie Lott?
I'm not going to lie. I think it would be like a Rod Woodson. I had the opportunity to learn under him 2 seasons ago, and I think I learned so much in that 1 year between him and Kevin Ross teaching me. It was probably one of the most beneficial years I had being in the NFL. I see myself, I'm a very physical guy by nature, so, that's where you see me being able to come up and make 7, 8, 9, 10 tackles a game, getting quarterback sacks, forced fumbles, things like that. But, I have a DB coach that I've been working with, Will Sullivan. He's out in Arizona. He trains, Darrell Reeves, some big-name guys. I'm working every day to be a better coverage safety as well. I understand that in this league, the days of being that in the box, thumper, those really, the game is starting to turn into basketball and grass. If you look at the way that Goodell's changing the rules, it's basketball and grass now. You got to be more athletic. They find the matchups better now, and I just want to be the best. I want to be the best. I can't say that enough. I don't want to have any weaknesses or any holes in my game. I want to be the best safety at coverage, but I also want to be the best at tackling. And that's honestly what I'm working for. Obviously going into this offseason, I think if you look at my tape, you would say that, this guy is a heck of a tackler. He's a heck of a blitzer. He's very aggressive. I think, where I'm trying to improve and take my game to that next level and keep being an ascending player is getting more interceptions, getting my hands on the football more. That's where I'm trying to improve. I think as I continue to do that, that's like you said, there really isn't that position of strong safety, free safety. I think they do that more for the depth chart, but really you have to be pretty interchangeable in today's NFL.
Mike, I love that you call it basketball on grass because we talk all the time on this program about power forwards being out there in the middle of the field. How do you deal with the big go-up-and-get-it guys, the Gronkowskis, the Jimmy Grahams, those types?
Yeah, I remember we were playing Green Bay Packers up in Green Bay. It was probably one of the coldest games I ever played.
You're a power forward too, right?
Yeah, Jermichael Finley. He's a very good athlete. What I'm learning is, with those guys, you got to wait for them to come down. You got to play through their hands. You got to use your athleticism. Obviously I can jump pretty high, but he's going to get up higher because he's that much taller than me. But it's when he's coming down with the ball, that's when you can take the ball away from this guy. I remember that was a perfect example of that in that game. Aaron Rodgers, they were trying to throw like a goal line fade on me. I played right through his hands when he was bringing the ball down. That's when I was able to take it away from him, get the interception in the end zone, and get my team the ball. You just got to kind of know how to play the game. I think if you've looked at my film over the last couple of years, I've been great in covering man coverage with tight ends, especially, just because I feel like I have a different skill set. I do have the coverage ability of a defensive back, but my mindset also is very aggressive, so I'm not afraid to get handsy with them, and I'm definitely a lot stronger than I look. I walk around 205, 210, somewhere around there, but I'm definitely a lot stronger than I look. So when I get my hands on them, I think a lot of times they're surprised by that. And then obviously, I had the quickness and speed advantage that definitely belongs to me.
Mike, I'm going to give you the unsolicited commercial real quick, and I'm sure that a lot of what I'm telling you already know. But, we got a head coach here in Baltimore that has a special teams background and a defensive backs background. So you see guys like Corey Graham, who, for example, came over as a Pro Bowl special teamer and is now an essential part of this defensive secondary. The Ravens system, for whatever reason, has always seemingly gotten the best out of their safeties, whether they find them in free agency, whether they find them in the 5th, 7th round, even as undrafted guys. So I have no doubt, and couple that with your spirituality, I have no doubt that you would be comfortable here and in purple. And I guess the last question that I would have for you, man, with all of the talk about safety in the game and the types of hits that are legal, illegal, those types of things, as a guy who is playing now through the evolution of the game happening as you're on the field, has it changed the way that you think out there? Does it have to?
You have to, but I think what Goodell and the people changing the rules have to understand is that this is full-speed tackle football, and it's meant to be played a certain way. When you start trying to change the rules, it becomes a different sport. That's what I said. We're not trying to play basketball on grass. There's a reason. I always say this. Darius Hayward-Bay, we were drafted together. We're real good friends, but I always tell him before every game, only the strong survive. We've seen our rookie class get dwindled down, but I mean that to play professional football, only the strong men, mentally strong, physically strong, only you will survive in this game because that's how it's meant to be played. If it was easy, everyone would be able to do it. It would lose the prestige. It would lose the lure. That's one of the things that scares me. Obviously I care about the other guys that I'm playing against. I don't want to hurt anyone. I'm not that type of man. But at the same time, there is that little bit of, that is my job to dominate you on this. This is what this sport is. It's that competition. If we weren't trying to beat each other, there would be no point in playing the game. You know what I mean?
Indeed, I do.
I just hope that they can be, a little more careful about, obviously, shots to the head. Yeah, we can do that, but sometimes, man, we're getting penalties on completely legal hits, and it's like, what can you do? And they have to be real careful about that they don't change the game from professional football and turn it into basketball and grass, because Willie Brown, he's been with the Raiders for forever. Guy that he's one of the best cover corners ever, invented the bump and run. He's the type of guy that I play for. And when I think about the older players, that's why I play the way that I do. That's why I play so hard. Obviously, I have motivation from my family and the people that have always been there for me. But I want to keep that NFL football going because that's what it is. That was the game I grew up loving.
Mike, you're an impressive guy, man. Hope to see you in purple. Secondarily, we hope not to see you in black and yellow for what that's worth, man. You do social networks, Twitter, Facebook, anything like that?
Yes, sir. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Mitchell34. My Facebook is just my name, Michael Mitchell. Feel free to come on and enjoy the ride.
Mike, appreciate your time, man. Hope we get to talk again soon.
All right. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great day. God bless.
You got it, man. There goes Mike Mitchell, free agent safety formerly of, still technically of, the Oakland Raiders, and could be in an NFL city near you. And again, a guy that's it's difficult not to be impressed with at this point for sure. You are listening to 1570 AM, WNST Towson, Baltimore, and streaming live on the web at WNST.net. We never stop talking Baltimore sports. This hour of the program brought to you by our friends at Dovell and Williams Truck Center. Dovell and Williams award-winning parts and service center can put your Isuzu or GMW series trucks back on the road at the lowest cost you'll find anywhere. They know trucks. DovellandWilliams.com. MobTown Sports Beat returns after this. Benny Logan, LSU defensive tackle, soon to be NFL draftee, scheduled to join us. We've got open lines for you as well, and we never stop talking.